So far, no errors. So it should go fine. Yeah, it went. You should have got a notification.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's being live streamed.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Mataji. AI companion also, he asked me to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think all my checklists done, okay? Hare Krishna, everyone. Today we will be discussing Canto 4, chapter 1 to 7, right? The review. I'll share my desktop. I think you can see my screen. You're able to see, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll start with Pranam Mantra, right?
Yes.
Om Jnana-Timirandasya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadandiham Shri Gurum Shri Yutam Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saranathan Vidam Sajivam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padanam Sagarita Shivshakna Vitamsa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Takanchana Gaurani Ade Vrindavaneshwari Shubhanasute Devi Pranamami Hari Priyem Vanchakalpadarubhyascha Kripasinduਭ्यैवच Patitanam Pavanam
Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Vedanta.
So Canto 4, the creation of the fourth order. And so before we begin, we'll recite this sloka. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So today we'll review the Canto 4, Part A. So Part B, C, and D. So Part A, Lord Shiva between Sati and Daksha. Okay. It's an easy one, right? Mostly. Yeah, be ready. Canto 4 is easy. Though it is big, it is easy. But Canto 5, oh my God. Yeah, getting more tough, okay? In terms of in terms of the what you call the analogy and all those things. So the chapter 1 will go round robin, okay, and so we'll read one by one, okay. Chapter 4, the creation of the fourth order. Chapter 1, genealogical table of the daughters of Manu. It's an easy one. Okay, Mataji, you want to go first? Verses 1 to 14.
Okay, Prabhu. Sri Maitreya describes the descendants of Akuti, Devahuti, and Prasuti, who are the three daughters Swayambhuva Manu begot in his wife Satarupa. Akuti married Prajapati Ruchi, and they had two children, the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead named Yajna, and a partial incarnation of Lakshmi named Dakshina. Yajna was returned to Swayambhuva Manu according to a prior arrangement, and later Yajna married Dakshina and had 12 sons. Maitreya then describes the descendants of Devahuti and Kadama Muni. Kadama Muni begot 9 daughters in Devahuti, and all the daughters were later handed over to great sages like Marichi, Atri, and Vasishta. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Next, Mantri Prabhu, you want to go? 15 to 33.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Verses 15 to 33. Anusaya Kadamham's daughter was given unto Atri Muni. Maitreya explained in how Atri Muni he performed penances by standing him on one leg and eating him only air for 100 years in order to get a son like him, the Supreme Lord. Atri Muni had no specific idea of the personality of the Supreme Lord. Thus, as Vishnu, Shiva, and Brahma all appeared before him. Anusaya, Kadamsam's daughter, the wife of Atri Muni, gave her birth of three sons, Dattatreya, Durvasa, and Soma, who were her partial representation of Vishnu, Shiva, and Brahma, respectively. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Manidhar Das, Babuji?
Yes, Guru.
Four.
Verse 34 through 66. Maitreya continues describing the descendants of Kardamani. Anyone who hears the description of this dynasty with faith will be relieved from all sinful reactions. Another of Manu's daughters, known as Parsuti, married the son of Brahma named Daksha. 13 daughters of Daksha were given to Dharma. Dharma's wife Murti gave birth to Sri Nar Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That Nar Narayan Rishi, who is a partial expansion of Krishna, has now appeared in the dynasties of Yadu and Kuru. In the forms of Krishna and Arjuna, respectively, Daksha's 16th daughter, whose name was Sati, was the wife of Lord Shiva. She could not produce a child, although she always faithfully engaged in the service of her husband.
Thank you, Babuji. So, analogies, Mataji, you want to read Anuradha Devi?
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat. Analogies 4.1.15. In the Vedanta Sutra, the living entities of different gradations are compared to candles or lamps of different candle power. For example, some electric bulbs have the power of 1000 candles, some have the power of 100 candles, some the power of 100 candles, some 50 candles, etc. But all electric bulbs have light. Light is present in every bulb, but the gradation of light are different. Similarly, there are gradation of Brahman.
Thank you, Mataji. Rupanoga Krishnadas Babuji, you want to read the 4.1.57?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. 4.1.57. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the origin of the cosmic manifestation, is covered by the wonderful activities of material nature, just as outer space or the illumination of the sun and moon is sometimes covered by clouds or dust. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So this gives the background of how Sati, the origin actually. And then the questions, you can anyway go over the questions. We'll go to chapter 2. We'll do the same round robin, okay? Go ahead, Mataji.
You want me to?
Yeah.
Okay. You want me to read?
Yeah,
Okay.
1 to 19, please. Yeah.
All right. Vidura inquired, how is it possible that Daksha could be inimical towards such an auspicious personality as Lord Shiva? The sage Maitreya explained when Daksha, the leader of the Prajapatis, entered the assembly of a great sacrifice, seeing his bodily luster as bright as the effulgence of the sun, all the universal leaders present, except Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, stood in respect for Daksha. Daksha was very much offended to see Lord Shiva sitting and not showing him any respect. Daksha angrily began to speak very strongly against Lord Shiva, criticizing him for failing to respectfully receive him, although as Daksha's son-in-law, he should have done so. Judging Shiva by his external appearance, Daksha described him as shameless, duplicitous, uncivil, impure, dirty, mad, and inauspicious. In a fury, Daksha cursed Lord Shiva to be bereft of his share of the oblations of the sacrifice. Finally, Daksha left the assembly in anger and returned to his home in spite of the request of assembled members. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Next, Mantri Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
Verses 20 to 26. Nandishwara cursed Daksha that night he would not soon have the faceness of a goat. He also cursed both not Daksha and all the Brahmanas present and there who had not tolerated Daksha's cursing him Shiva. To be he bereft of transcendental knowledge, to always remain in attached to fruitful activities, to do their not duties merely for the purposes of maintaining the body, and to be he divide need of discrimination in eating. They will acquire money, begging him from door to door, supply him for the satisfaction of the body. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Next.
Verse 27 through 35. The sage Bhrigu condemned the followers of Lord Shiva with this very strong Brahminical curse. One who takes a vow to satisfy Lord Shiva will certainly become an atheist and be diverted from transcendental scriptural injunctions for auspicious advancement. They will imitate Lord Shiva by keeping long hair on their heads and living on wine, flesh, etc. When such cursing and counter-cursing was going on, Lord Shiva became very morose and silently left the arena of the sacrifice, followed by his disciples. After completing the sacrifice, the demigods bathed at the confluence of the Ganges and Yamuna, and then departed for their respective abodes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Analogies, shall we read one by one? Next, who is it?
4 point
Yeah, go ahead.
analogies 4.2.13. This restriction that unless one has acquired the Brahminical qualification, one should not read the Vedic literature is like the restriction that a law student should not enter a law college unless he has been graduated from all lower grades.
Thank you, Mataji.
Should I continue or?
Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
Okay.
2.5 also read.
4.2.25 The Vedic promises of elevation to higher planets for better standards of materialistic life are compared to flowery language, because in a flower there is certainly an aroma, but that aroma does not last for a very long time. In a flower there is honey, but that honey is not eternal. Hare Krishna. Should I read all or?
Yeah, we will ask
Yeah.
Rupanuga Krishnadas.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
The other two.
4.2.35. One who is honest may be faithful to the government, but he does not need to bribe the government servants. Bribery is illegal. One does not bribe a government servant, but that does not mean that one does not show him respect. Similarly, who engages in the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Lord does not need to worship any demigod, nor does he have any tendency to show disrespect to the demigods. 4.2.35. By worshipping the Supreme Lord, one automatically serves all the demigods because they are parts and parcels of the whole. If one supplies water to the root of a tree, all the parts of the tree, such as the leaves and branches, are automatically satisfied. And if one supplies food to the stomach, all the limbs of the body, the hands, legs, fingers, etc., are nourished. Thus, by worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can satisfy all the demigods, but by worshipping all the demigods, one does not completely worship the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So why Vidura astonished? Amazing word of sati, meaning of the word sati. Then Daksha, why became intolerant? Lord Shiva is called. These are very straightforward questions and easy also. This part will be easy actually. Explain the phrase Brahmadandam Duratyaya. And what does Lord Shiva becoming morose and leaving the arena of the sacrifice? What general principles? Okay. This part will be easy, okay. And then chapter 3 talks between Lord Shiva and Sati. It's an easy one. Mataji?
Okay. When
One.
when Lord Brahma appointed Daksha, the chief of all the Prajapatis, the progenitors of population, Daksha became very much puffed up. Daksha performed another sacrifice and yet another, the latter well attended by the universal leaders. Hearing of that sacrifice and seeing her sisters en route to it, Sati, the daughter of Daksha, developed the desire to attend and approached her husband, Lord Shiva, to convince him that they should go. She explains that as a woman, she's very much attached to her family and it's difficult for her to miss a festive event attended by her relatives at her father's house. Even though uninvited, it is always acceptable to visit a relative or friend without invitation.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Verses 15 into 25. Lord Shiva agreed that visiting a friend and though uninvited is proper, but said that one should never go where the host not find it faults with the guest and become angry towards him, because they cannot attain self-realizations themselves. The proud mood are not unable to tolerate a sentient transcendental opulence. Transcendentality, enlightened and persons offer her the mutual greeting exchange when they meet other persons. To whom the super soul, who is sitting within him the body, not to the body. Thus, because Lord Shiva is always engaged in offering him obeisances to Lord Vasudev in pure Krishna consciousness, he is innocent of disappearing things,
Daksha.
disrespecting him Daksha. Although Sati is Daksha's dearmost daughter, Shiva predicts she will be dishonored not at Daksha's home because of her relationship with her husband. Unkind words spoken by a friend and perpetually he torture her one's heart. Shiva warns her that if Sati decides to go because her father is envious of him, the insult by her relative will immediately be equal her to death. Hare Krishna.
Right. Analogies.
Mm.
4.3.17. Milk is very nice food, but when milk is touched by an envious serpent, it becomes poisonous. Similarly, material assets such as education, wealth, beauty, and good percentage are undoubtedly nice, but when they decorate persons of a malicious nature, then they act adversely. 23.
Yeah, go
For,
ahead.
exa- for example, when iron is put into a fire, it becomes warm, and when red hot, although it is iron, it acts like fire. Similarly, when copper is surcharged with electricity, its action as a copper stops. It acts as electricity. Bhagavad Gita 14.26 also confirms that anyone who engages in unadulterated devotional service to the Lord is at once elevated to the position of pure Brahman.
Thank you. Few questions here. Chief reason for Sati's giving up body. Meaning of Sanskrit word Sri and Lord Shiva's name Nilakanta. And why is serpent considered envious of other living entities? And Shuddha Sattva existence and Lord Shiva's instructions. verses 1 to 5. Mataji, you want to read? Anuradha Mataji, right?
Yes, Prabhu. Verses 1 to 5, crying at being forbidden to go see her relatives at her father's house, she left for the house of her father. This less intelligent act was due to her being a weak woman. When they saw Sati leaving alone very rapidly, thousands of Lord Shiva's disciples accompanied her like a royal procession. Verses 6 to 17, when Sati reached the arena, no one received her well out of fear of Daksha, except her mother and sisters. She did not reply to the words of her mother and sisters, nor accept their gifts, because her father did not welcome her. Neither were their oblations for her husband, Lord Shiva, in the sacrifice. She became very angry and looked at her father as if to burn him with her eyes. The followers of Lord Shiva, the ghost, were ready to attack Daksha, but Sati ordered them to stop. Sati began to condemn the process of sacrificial fruitive activities and persons who were very proud of such sacrifices. She especially condemned her father, speaking against him in the presence of all, for envying such a glorious personality as Lord Shiva, who lives to benefit all. Although Daksha simply finds faults, Shiva finds no faults with others. But if someone has a little good quality, he magnif- he magnifies it greatly. Lord Shiva purifies one of all sinful activities. His order is never rejected. No one but Daksha envies him. Although Daksha considered Shiva inauspicious because of his dress and association, great personalities like Brahma honor him by placing the flowers offered to his feet on their heads with great respect. Hare Krishna.
Next one, Prabhuji. Rupanathan.
Yeah. Verses 18 to 27. If one hears blasphemy of a great soul, one should block his ears and go away if unable to punish him. But if one is able to kill, then one should cut out the blasphemer's tongue and kill the offender, and then give up his own life. Therefore, Sati declared she would no longer bear the body she received from Daksha, who blasphemed Lord Shiva. Thus, she sat in a yoga posture, meditated on the lotus feet of her exalted husband, purifying herself of all sin, and burned her body to ashes in fiery mystic yoga. Verses 28 to 34. Then there was a tumultuous roar all over the universe. While people were talking about Sati's death, her attendants readied themselves to kill Daksha with their weapons. But Bhugmuni, by Brahmanical power, immediately uttered mantric hymns from the Yajurveda, by which the destroyers of yajnic performance would be killed immediately. At once, thousands of powerful demigods named Grubus became manifested and attacked the ghosts and guhyakas with half-burned fuel from the yajna, like yajna fire, thus dispersing them. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, analogies, 4.412. Just as a bee is always interested in the honey in the flower and does not consider the thorns and colors, highly qualified persons who are uncommon accept only the good qualities of others, not considering their bad qualities. Whereas the common man can judge what are good qualities and what are bad qualities. Shall I read on?
Yeah, go ahead.
4.413. Those who are offenders at the lotus feet of a great personality dry up, their godly qualities diminish. A great soul may forgive offenses, but Krishna does not excuse offenses to the dust of that great soul's feet. Just as one can tolerate the scorching sunshine on one's head, but cannot tolerate the scorching sunshine on one's feet. 4.418. Therefore, I shall no longer bear this unworthy body which has been received from you, who have blasphemed Lord Shiva. If someone has taken food which is poisonous, the best treatment is to vomit. Hare Krishna.
What is woman's last weapon? Some of the questions here. Separation between husband and wife is generally due to what? What makes family life very peaceful? Purpose of Vedic animal sacrifice. And what general principles Prabhupada draw from the way in which Sati was received? And then a few more. Explain how Lord Shiva's position is constantly higher than that of Lord Brahma. What was Sati's main purpose in coming to her father's house? Why do Shiva's worshippers sometimes appear more opulent than the worshippers of Vishnu? It's an important question also. Explain how any transcendental process of spiritual realization automatically helps to keep the body fit. What type of body did Sati achieve? What general principles does Prabhupada draw from Sati's giving up her body? We'll move on. We'll go to chapter 5.
Oh,
Visible, right? Yeah.
yeah, I don't like read or not, Prabhuji.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Yeah.
I'll try, Prabhuji.
Okay. You want me to read otherwise?
I'll try first one, then we'll see, Prabhuji.
Okay. Sorry, Prabhuji. Yeah.
No
Trying
problem.
to zoom actually.
Yeah. Verses 1 to 6. When Lord Shiva heard from Narad that Sati, his wife, he was now dead, he became him greatly angry. He immediately snatched a hair knot from his head and stood nude up and laughing him like a madman. Dashed the hair knot to the ground, creating a fearful black demon, Veerbhadra. He was as high as the sky and as bright as three suns with very fearful teeth, and hairs on his head like a burning fire. He had thousands of arms equipped with various weapons, and he was garlanded with the heads of men. Veerbhadra asked us with folded hand, "What shall I do, whom I have, Lord?" Shiva ordered him to kill his Daksha and his soldiers at the sacrifice. Veerbhadra circumambulated Lord Shiva and left. Many other soldiers of Lord Shiva followed not him in a
Tumultuous.
tremulous uproar. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
7 to 17.
No,
Okay.
Prabhuji, someone will read.
Yeah,
Prabhuji.
someone, yeah.
At that time, all the persons at the sacrifice wondered where the darkness was coming from. Concluding it was a dust storm, they conjectured, is the dissolution of the planet now to occur? Parshruti, Sati's mother, along with other women, became very anxious and sad. This danger has been created by Daksha because of the death of the innocent Sati, who quit her body as her sisters looked on. The gigantic black man bared his fearful teeth. By the movements of his brows, he scattered the luminaries all over the sky, and he covered them with his strong, piercing effulgence. While all the people talked amongst themselves, Daksha saw dangerous omens from all sides. All the followers of Lord Shiva surrounded the arena of sacrifice and thus began to create disturbances by pulling down the pillars which were supporting the pandal of sacrifice, entering the female quarters, destroying the sacrificial arena, and entering the kitchen and the residential quarters. They broke all the pots made for use in the sacrifice, and some of them began to extinguish the sacrificial fire. Some tore down the boundary line and some passed urine on the arena. Some blocked the way of the fleeing sages, some threatened the woman, and some arrested the fleeing demigods.
Thank you, Prabhuji. 18 to 26. Yeah.
Manimaran arrested Brigu Muni, Virabhadra, the black demon, arrested Prajapati Daksha. Others were also arrested. Virabhadra tore off the moustache of Brigu and forcibly put out the eyes of Bhaga, who had been moving his eyebrows during Brigu's cursing of Lord Shiva. Virabhadra knocked out the teeth of both Daksha, who had shown them while cursing Lord Shiva, and Pusa, who, by smiling sympathetically, had also shown his teeth. Virabhadra then used the wooden device meant for killing the sacrificial animals to behead Daksha, causing the followers of Lord Shiva to rejoice and Brahmanas in charge of the sacrifice to grieve. Virabhadra then took the head and with great anger threw it into the southern side of the sacrificial fire, offering it as an oblation. Thus Lord Shiva's followers devastated all the arrangements for sacrifice. After setting fire to the whole arena, they departed for Kailasha. Hare Krishna.
Lakshman Shahnaz is here. Only a few questions. Sati, who is personified material energy herself, not to kill Daksha? What general principle Prabhupada draw from the quarrel between Lord Shiva and Brigumuni? And write overview of the chapter. Chapter 6. Who is next actually? Anuradha Mataji or?
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
Verses 1 to 8. The members of the sacrificial assembly respectfully approached Lord Brahma, telling him in detail what happened. Knowing beforehand of the impending disaster, Lord Brahma and Vishnu had not gone to the sacrifice. Now, hearing what transpired, Lord Brahma achieved some advice. Sorry, Lord Brahma advised them to go without mental reservations and surrender unto Lord Shiva lotus feet and beg his pardon. Thus they all were along with Brahma to Shiva abode Kailash. Verses 9 to 31. The residents of Kailash include demigod endowed with all mystic powers, Kinnaras, Gandharvas, and Apsaras. Kali,
Kailasha.
Kailash, sorry. Kailash is surrounded by herbs, flowering plants, and all varieties of valuable trees, and full of fountain filled with all kinds of valuable jewels and minerals. There are many waterfalls and caves. On Kailash Hill, there was many varieties of singing birds and other kinds of animals also, like musk, deer, elephant, monkeys, boars, lions, forest cows, tigers, and buffaloes, etc. There is an auspicious lake named Alaknanda in which Sati used to take her bath. The demigods also saw the two rivers named Nanda and Alaknanda, Ganges, which are sacrificed by the dust of the lotus feet of Govinda. Finally, they reached a great banyan tree. 800 makes high and 600 makes around. Should I continue, Prabhu?
Yeah. Ask Rupanaga Das if he wants to.
Yes, sure, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Verses 32 to 41. The demigods saw Lord Shiva sitting under that tree, practicing austerity, his body smeared with ashes. And his hair was the sign of a full half moon. Lord Shiva was dressed in saffron, sitting in Varsana, absorbed in trance, and speaking to the saintly persons surrounding him, including Narada. The demigods, headed by Indra, offered their respectful obeisances unto Lord Shiva with folded hands. As soon as he saw Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, along with all the sages, immediately stood up and offered him respect by bowing down and touching his lotus feet. Verses 42 to 53. Brahma first glorified Lord Shiva and then explained that persons who are mean to others are as good as dead anyway and do not need to be killed. He explained that materialists sometimes commit offenses, but saintly persons do not take this seriously, knowing that such materialists are overpowered by the illusory energy. He requested Lord Shiva to take his rightful share of the sacrifice and to let the sacrifice be properly completed. Brahma requests Shiva that by his mercy the king Daksha may get back his life, Bhaga may get back his eyes, Bhrigu his mustache, and Pusa his teeth, and that the demigods and the priests recover from their injuries. Hare Krishna.
I will read this analogy. 4.6.43. The mode of ignorance or tamoguna is considered very much lower than the others, but in the higher sense, it is also auspicious. The example may be given herein that the government has both an educational department and criminal department. An outsider may consider the criminal department inauspicious, but from the government's point of view, it is as important as the education department, and therefore the government finances both departments equally without discrimination. It was good for Daksha to have been killed, and then define the word Ashutosh. And multiple times it comes. List aspects of Kailasha, which is an important question as well. And what does Lord Shiva's association with the Kumaras and Kuvera indicate? Meaning of Tirthapada, that is also important. How does a devotee consider a calamitous condition? Describe some of the difficulties performing the Vedic rituals in Kali Yuga. The last one, right? I think 1 to 7. Yeah. Am I right, Prabhu? Yeah, 1 to 7. Who wants to read? Anybody wants to read? What's 1 to 6?
Yeah, I can read, Prabhu. I can read.
Well,
Verses 1 to 6. Lord Shiva explained that he did not take seriously the childish activities of the demigods and punished them for their own benefit. Since Daksha head was destroyed, he would have the goat of a head of a goat. Bhaga would see though the eyes of Mitra. Pusa would chew through the teeth of his disciples, or he will have to satisfy himself by eating dough made from uh, chickpea flour. The demigod, agreeing to give Lord Shiva his share of his sacrifice, would recover from their all injuries. Brigu would get the goat's beard. Everyone was very much satisfied in heard upon hearing Shiva's words. Verses 7 to 21. Lord Shiva, along with the demigods, sages, and Lord Brahma, all went to the sacrificial arena. Daksha came to consciousness, his body being joined to the head of the goat meant for sacrifice, and seeing Lord Shiva, he heart was immediately cleansed of envy. Daksha wanted to offer prayers to Lord Shiva, but overwhelmed by Sati death, he could not speak. Daksha appreciated Shiva for avoiding punishment. The sacrificial arena was purified of the contamination caused by the ghostly followers of Lord Shiva. Daksha then began the yagna, and Lord Vishnu appeared, looking extraordinarily beautiful, seated on Garuna.
thank you. Anybody wants to read this entire one?
I'll read, Prabhuji. Verses 20 to 47. All the demigods and sages present offered their prayers and oblation unto Lord Vishnu. Verses 48 to 54. Lord Vishnu replied to Daksha, explaining him Achinta Bheda Bheda Tattva. Verses 55 to 61. After being instructed by Lord Vishnu, Daksha worshipped him by performing the prescribed sacrificial ceremonies. With all respect, Daksha worshipped him Lord Shiva with the share of the remnants of yagna. Daksha's daughter Sati took her next birth in the kingdom of the Himalaya and again accepted Lord Shiva as her husband. Maitreya told Vidura that he heard of the Daksha's yagna from Uddhava, and he concluded by saying that if one hears and again narrates with faith and devotion the story of the Daksha yagna, then certainly one is cleared of all contamination of material existence. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, analogies, anybody wants to read?
Yes, bro. Analogies. 4.7.1. There are two types of punishment. One is that which a conqueror imposes on an enemy, and the other is like that a father imposes on his son. There is a gulf of difference between these two of punishment. Next, 4.7.10. In the rainy season, the reservoirs of water become dirty and muddy. But as soon as the autumn rain comes, all the water immediately becomes clear and transparent. Similarly, all the Daksha's heart was impure because of his having
Slander.
slandered Lord Shiva, for which he was severely punished. Daksha now came to consciousness, and just by seeing Lord Shiva with veneration and respect, he became immediately purified. At that time, when Daksha saw Lord Shiva, who rides upon a bull, his heart, which was polluted by envy of Lord Shiva, was immediately cleansed, just as the water in the lake is cleansed by autumn rains. Then I can read the last one. 4.7 by 53. If a particular type of body is diseased, the whole attention of the body goes to that part. Similarly, devotees care for any person who is forgetful of Krishna and therefore in material consciousness.
Thank you, Babaji. Questions? Describe Lord Shiva's punishment to the demigods. What general principles Prabhupada draw from the exchange of Daksha's head with that of a goat? So he says the consciousness doesn't change. What does the incident of the poor Brahmana and Sanatana Goswami indicate? What is the main point of the verse and purport, text 9? Explain the significance. Why did Lord Shiva punish Daksha? Significance of the four symbols seen in the four hands of Vishnu. Important question. Explain the medicine and the diet for spiritual life. It's also important. What can be understood from the statement of Lord Shiva? What is the perfect position of Krishna conscious person? Explain the import of the Lord's name as Bhakta Vatsala. Explain how a person in Krishna consciousness is the best performer of yajna. Explain the philosophy recommended by Lord Chaitanya that Krishna is simultaneously one and different. That is Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. It's also an important one. How do the Vaishnavas relate to the demigods? Describe the equal vision of a devotee. I think this concludes. Okay, sorry, we have to do this also, right?
We don't know.
One, huh? This chapter might be easy, okay? You're all ready? We'll finish it and then we'll wind up. And then what I will do is I will upload the questions, right? Canto 4 you told me, correct?
Yeah, open book exam.
So I will find my folder, okay?
Mhm.
And then I will upload here. Is it okay?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. I think it should be there. I will check it. So in this chapter, I think it is easy. We'll try to form our knowledge. 3 points each, okay? Just to think about it and let me know what all the knowledge Go with knowledge, skills, values, and attitude.
One can be, Prabhuji, we should not go anybody's house without not invitation.
Okay. It's a good one. Okay.
Vaishnava Parat is very great offense.
Sorry, Mataji.
Vaishnava Parat is a great offense.
Yeah. Aparada, right?
Mm.
Yeah. One should not do, can I write?
Mm.
Right? Vaishnava Aparada means offense, right? So,
Sorry, yeah, sorry,
Mhm.
Prabhu. One should not commit Vaishnava Parat.
thank you. Another knowledge.
One should not develop hatredness towards great personalities like Lord Shiva, who is one of the Mahajans.
Anyone we can say, right?
Mm.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yeah, towards anyone, even
Mm.
including our enemies. That is a quality we should.
Yeah.
I told you, this one will be easy here. Skills. What skills we can develop actually? We can say respecting. See, Daksha got angry because Shiva didn't get up, right? Shiva didn't get up because, right? So offering respect, we can say that is one skill we can develop.
Mm.
You all agree, or?
Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
I mean, another skill should be we should remain equipoised in every condition, not become angry or those things
Right.
we should develop
The quality, right? Yeah,
qualities in any situation.
should be equiposed during distress, right? Or
In any situation.
situation. Okay. It's a good one.
Another is like one should follow dharma. I mean, rightfully part of that yajna sacrifice belonged to Lord Shiva, but Daksha do not want to give. So that's where he's deviating from dharma too.
Which one, Prabhuji? Sorry.
The part of the sacrifice result should belong to Lord Shiva, but which Daksha do not want to give.
So obligations has to be given properly, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
You go with the values are the tough one, right? Okay, let us go attitude, and then we'll go to values. For us, we also struggle with values a lot. Okay. Yeah, attitude. What should be our attitude actually? So some of the skills also can be written towards the attitude, but let us think about whether we can get 3 different points.
To be humble.
Very good, Mataji.
To be kind to Prabhuji, because when Mother Sati was
Right.
suiciding, he didn't show the kindness.
What else we can have?
Even Daksha's position was like Prajapati, so so he should be. He was lacking.
Alright. Alright, is it?
So not envious, we can say.
Yeah, not
Because
envious. We can. Yeah.
Values are the little bit tough one, but we'll see. What are the values we can derive?
I think Sati should have like respect to Lord Shiva's
Okay. Husband-wife
suggestion.
value, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Harmony, I can say.
Yes, true.
Prabhupada mentions multiple times this one in the purport also, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it will be value, Prabhuji. The one of the analogy was there. Now if the materially having opulences will if he use those properly, otherwise it will be adverse.
So what we can
Okay.
write is
Like as a milk with a serpent.
yeah, all material opulences, right, should be purified, we can say.
Should be used
Should be used towards Krishna, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Krishna consciousness, we can say. Towards
Yeah,
Krishna.
another could be Prabhuji, like I think devotees can be forgiving to the materialistic
That is
persons.
also good. Yeah. You can debate little bit that you can go in attitude also.
Yes.
Prabhuji will debate with you all. Okay, I'm okay.
Values.
Or we can say how forgiving Lord Shiva is, right? We can put it that way.
Yeah, I think the forgiving is also important.
Yeah.
Mm.
Even we do small thing, Lord Shiva, helps us.
Appreciates.
Yeah, appreciates. And in attitude also, we can say that never we should not disrespect demigods also, correct? Any demigods.
Yeah, that was one of the, I was going to say, like, the respecting all the souls.
Yeah, all the souls. That we have it on the skills also, correct? Thank you so much. Prabhuji, in case if I forget, please, ping me. I will not forget, okay? Uploading that Canto 4 questions. I will do it.
And the open book also.
Open book only, sorry. Open book only, I'm saying.
Okay.
I need to dig in mind, okay? And then I will do it. If I'm not doing it, please ping me, okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Vanchakalpatarabhyascha.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Have a good weekend. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.